Hello Creative, welcome to another edition of today's tutorial with the Magic Maker. In today's video, we're going to look at how to design and make business card for prints like the one I have here with me. So this is a sample of ALO's business card, and I'll also show you a version on your screen. So we're going to look at how to place it on a mockup. Aside that, we're going to look at how to place it on, or how to fake it on another mockup. But we'll have to look at it to actually get the idea of what I'm saying. So the first thing we want to do is we want to design a replica of this particular business card in front of you. But we'll be using, let's just use airline details, or we could just use the Magic Maker. So let's just get started. So I'll just load my Photoshop. And before we get started, we also need to know the size of a business card. So we just go with that, size of a business card. And we see 3.5 inches by 2 inches. So let's check. You have to first check, does Photoshop have the dimension of inches? Okay, it does. So 3.5 by 2. I want to use the add border option because we want to be able to see our front and back design at the same time, sort of like in an artboard view. Remember, we're designing for print, we're not designing for web. So design for print, you set your color profile to CMYK, but the thing is, whenever you check the artboard option on, you can only design for web. So what you could do is, you could design for web first, then you convert your image at the end to CMYK. Or you could just design and just choose the CMYK color profile at the inception. Then you group your front and back as templates. Let us do that, since we've worked with artboards in our previous design, so we get an idea of what I mean by artboards. But in today's video, let's just work without choosing the artboard option. Now the background color I'm going to use is white, and I'm just going to name this business card design. But we can as well save this as a template or as a preset, so that every time we want to design a business card, we don't have to re-enter our details. So what I'm going to do is just give it a name, business card design, enter, and we have it there as a template right in front of your screen. So the next thing I do is just to create. So now that we have this, I'd just like to create a folder first. I could work without a folder. So control, you could just click there for the folder button, just click on it, and we'll call this front design. Front design, then I'll create another one, I'll just call it back. So what we're going to do is we're going to replicate this kind of design pattern, but we'll just try to be creative about it. The idea is for us to get the basic concept of how to just create a very simple business card from scratch. Or you could also go online, you could check free pick for designs. Yeah, we are creating from scratch. It's very easy for us to use templates online and just input our details. But we want to ensure that you understand the basic principles of using Photoshop and its tools. That's why we are creating from scratch. So let's just make a design. I'll just search business card. So the one we'll be doing in today's class is we'll be making one for the Magic Maker. So from what we have here, this is the sample we'll be using in today's tutorial. So we'll try to recreate this from scratch. So let's do this. Let's make magic. All right, the first thing we want to do is we want to add a rectangle tool. Just like that. Once we've added that, we want to give it a border radius so that it is a bit curved. We can ignore the white part, or we could design straight up without even the border, but when we apply it on the mockup, we sort of use that. Escape. So from what you have in front of your screen, you'll be seeing that you have an outline, which you would like to remove because we don't want that, except if it's something that you deliberately want to do. But for my design here, I don't use an outline. But now the properties for, okay, you can see the properties for the tool here in the properties tab. So what I'll just do is remove the stroke by clicking on the no fill, and we have it like that. The next thing we see on our screen here is, we see some designs here. We'll have to use the pen tool. So let's first do the pick, the one we see here, the curve. Let's try that first. So I'll just press P for my pen tool, create a new layer, and I'll just make something very simple. Okay, so I can click outside anyhow I want. I can move this here, close it there, and I fill it with a particular color. So what I want to do is right click, fill path, foreground color. I'll just choose color, so I pick my own color. So let's use something deep. Just press OK and test it. So that's the first color we have there. And if you want to sample this particular color, it's very easy. Just press the print screen button on your keyboard. You come to your Photoshop, you just press Ctrl V. Then what we can do is we can use the eyedropper tool to sample the solid color we have there. I turn it off, then use color overlay, sample the initial color, and there we have it. So that's another way to just quickly sample colors. Now the next thing we want to do is we still need another variation that is coming out. So we could do that with a border or a stroke. Remember, we're not trying to design exactly what we're saying, we just want to get the idea of how to get started. So I'll turn this off, come to your effect, add a stroke. You see that we already have an outline there. So I can increase the size and I can leave it as white depending on the color I want. If I want it to be gray, everything is really up to you. I think I'll just leave it as white. Okay. The next thing we want to do is we have another design here. So everything is just your pencil. We don't have to do exactly what we're saying here. So I'll just go to the next one, which is this. And V. So go to your move tool. You just right click here, move to V. I'll just do P. Then like this. Click here. Click outside. So Alt. Click on that anchor to sort of eliminate the bend. If not, we'll be having something like this. But then it doesn't matter because it is out of the canvas. Click here at the very end. What's the color we want? This gray color. You could use gradients, but I'll just stick with solid color for this tutorial. Then all I want to do is create a new layer. Activate my pen tool to be able to use the fill option. Right click on it. Fill subpath. Color. I could just use the foreground color. So if I pick foreground color, what it will do is you just pick the color you have here. This is your foreground color, this is your background color. So foreground, background, foreground, okay. And so that is exactly what it chooses. But then I'll just like to stick with this initial color. I'll right click again. Fill subpath, background color, okay. So I'll just use that just to create this uniformity. Then you can press escape and we have that. Escape. So the next thing I want to do is brand name at the back, then the logo, your QR code. Now there are websites that can help you with QR code. So once you have the QR code, all you just have to do is just to put it right there. So what I can do is, I think I've got a sample of a QR code, the one we made, yeah. So these are just samples that we can work with. So the QR code are addresses to either a website or wherever you want it to go to. The QR codes are short form of link, so you can just use your QR scanner to go to your website. Even restaurants use it for their menus, it depends. So you can just link it here, enter, but then you should have configured this from scratch. So it's not like you just pick any QR code online, you'd have to create yours. Another thing we want to do is we need a logo here. So I'll just use the Magic Makers logo. Where did I keep that? Control N. Thumbnail. Logo. Logo pin. Let's see. No transparent background. Okay, I'll just use this to show us easy way to remove white background without stress. Let me minimize this. So let's say the white background is an issue. Aside using selection, pencil, or what have you, you could just double click here. Alt click and you drag. So what it does is it removes the white. You see that? it removes the white. So this is a way of removing background, the white background, you see. So the more we move, the more it eliminates the white. So you could just be creative about this. Okay, so that's just that for that, but I won't be using that. To get more precise result, I'll just use the PNG. So this one is transparent. I'll drop it here, but because the text is black, I'll just add an effect, color overlay, and I'll make it white. I'll pick white, so it is very visible. The magic maker. Then we sort of want a slogan somewhere around here. Let's use let's make magic. So if we see what we'll add here, follow and subscribe. We could put our social media handle here. Follow, subscribe, then under QR code. So, okay, we have one here already. We could just put it here. So everything is just up to you, your composition. I think I prefer, let's see, magic maker. I think I'll just prefer it here. The next I want to add is a slogan. Let's make magic. Color white. I don't want it to be bold. Let me just use, we could use the regular text. Let's use Roboto italic. We have bold. Don't let us use bold. Let's change the font weight to medium. Let's see how it looks. Medium yet italic. Medium italic. How about make this smaller? 6. Okay. So you can just be creative about it, but we don't want everything clustered. 8. I think we'll leave it at 6. We'll leave it at 6. This could actually still be on top, but it will be looking like a mesh up. So just leave it down here. Let's see what happens. So logo, follow and subscribe, like that. So let's look at where we can place that here. And this color, we could change the color to be something deeper, but I feel this is good. So properties, I'll just remove the border radius. Okay, let's get that. Then another text, or click and drag. For the text color, to sort of create a contrast, I'll just advise you use your major color or use the opposite color to just create a contrast. So follow and subscribe. Follow and subscribe. Follow and subscribe. So make the text bigger and bring it down. Let's make it bold and italic. Increase it to 12. Now to be 9. So basically, it's not like there are formulas for these things. You just have to try and see what works for you. So subscribe. Subscribe where? Let's see. We could just make this bigger view, extra large icon. Then we have the, okay. So we need a YouTube icon and we also need an Instagram icon. We have icons already, but let's just download for the sake of people that are new to our channel or for the sake of new subscribers. Okay, I think I like the magic wand. Which one should we use this time? Let's use this. I'll just download this to depict the magic. Then inside Insta. So to get resources, flat icon is a good place to look out for resources. I'll just use this. YouTube icon, YouTube. What should we use? I just use this. Down. And I sort of like this too. So what I'll just do is cut it, and take it to our recent folder. paste it here, and I'll drag everything into this. Reduce the size, reduce the size, reduce the size, and you have Instagram. Reduce the size, reduce the size, enter. I'll just pick all of them, Ctrl G, put them in a folder, name it icons. Then I'll I'll add an effect color overlay and I'll make it white. Depending on where I want to use it though, I could just do it individually. So let's start with YouTube. Ctrl T, make it smaller. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make it red, effects, color overlay. We could still use this. Let's see what red will look like here. We don't want that. Let's stick with a color that looks like home. Okay. Follow and subscribe. Could have this here. And if we sort of want, let's say, design to separate this from the background, what we could do is we could just add a line and move it behind what we have here. So I'll just do a rectangle. Okay, that was a mark U. Ctrl D to deselect. U for a rectangle. Put that there, and I'll give it the same color. Click on fill. Click there. Sample it. Okay. V. Take it to the back of layer 1, so it is hidden there. Now, I think it will be better if the color here is, if they are the same. So it will just act like a design. You could just be creative about this. And if you don't want this particular design area, you could just turn it off. It's all left to you. But I feel it is simpler like this. So we'll just work with this. Then we can add a stroke. Properties, stroke. Let's give it white. Let's use a white stroke. Let us make it 5. But what was the initial stroke we used? Let's check the weight, because consistency usually makes your work very nice. I'll make this 8. Alright. So we can't use this color there because it is the same thing with the background, so we switch. Color overlay. We could use white. White is better. We could use this color. Let's use white. I like something more contrasty. Okay. For the YouTube, I may not need this. Maybe one is okay. See for text. See for text. So that'll be the magic maker. The color of the text. Let's make it white. The magic maker. The only magic maker. Okay. YouTube at the magic maker. Then is your okay for positioning. Let's make this bold. The italics. Let's just try bold alone. Let's see. Okay, I think I prefer this. For the rectangle, I'd like us to increase the width. Ctrl C. I'll just hold Shift, then I drag down. So what I want to do is I want to add the Instagram page. Shift, click on both, Ctrl C. Shift, click and move. Instagram, move it up, Ctrl C. Ctrl Enter. Add color overlay. Let's just duplicate the color overlay we used for the YouTube icon. So what you have to do is click on the effect. I'm not clicking it. Hover over it. Hold down the Alt key, Option on the Mac. Click and drag. So we have that there. I'll just Alt click down. I hold the Shift to ensure that they are locked on the same axis. That's Alt click, then Shift to hold. So at Rocky Robots Designs on Instagram. But I feel this is too big. So let's make everything compact. Let's make it more professional. For this text, Ctrl C, make it smaller. Okay. And don't also forget to calculate the space for bleeds so that when your printer is working on it, your design does not get cut out because you designed too close to the borders. Ctrl C, scale it down. Ctrl Enter. Okay. So for the text, Ctrl apostrophe to activate that. Let me see. Ctrl C. Ctrl Enter. Alright, so this is good. Just the text size. What's the text size we're using here? 5.68. Ctrl C to copy. Good there. Highlight. Ctrl V to paste. Enter. So what we can do is we can move them closer. Okay. Then you click on the rectangle you created before. Ctrl C. Hold down the Shift key. Press it down. Ctrl Enter. And we have something worth using here. So for the magic maker, I'll just move it here, so that they are aligned in some way. Okay. Or it doesn't even necessarily have to be here. We could have the same text here. But then don't forget your bleed. You don't want to lose part of your design. What we can do is we can have this here. Or we just stick with the initial arrangement. So just Ctrl Z to undo. After everything, is there anything else we're leaving out? Anything else? I think that's that. Then the logo, let's make magic just to add something fancy to the design. Add a color overlay. So this can just, it doesn't necessarily have to be there. We can do without it. We can reduce the opacity. Yeah, we could just leave that there. Or we could try the color of the other background just to create a style. We could just do that. So, okay. Now everything we've done here is just for one side of the business card. You close this, you see that. So let's assume that that is the back. The next thing we have to work on is the front design. And what do we usually have on the front? We have something like this. Home, telephone, like that. So we'll be needing this icon. We'll be needing home, telephone, mail, and web address. So let's just quickly get that from flat icon. Home. Let's download. Okay, one. Telephone. Web address. Let's say web. And what's the last one we're leaving out? Email. Alright, so let's go to our file location. Ctrl X plus F4. Ctrl V. Okay. So everything we have here, what we could do is the design for the back. 1, 2, 3. Okay. We could shift Ctrl G, call this template. Enter. Now Alt click and drag it to the front folder. Then we go back to the back, close it. So we have the exact same thing. But what we can do is we can flip it. So I'll just do Ctrl T, weight minus, and that is how I flip it. So Ctrl T again, and I have it this way. So what I want to do next is to align my icons, home, telephone, web, like that. So I'll just drag the 3 in. Okay. So what I want to do is just color overlay. I'll make it white. I'll just use white. Alt click and drag, release your mouse to paste it on the rest. Alt click and drag, then you release. Okay. Ctrl C, click on everything. Then I'll move it one after the other. You can still make it smaller though. Shift, click on everything you want to highlight. So when you want to highlight a lot of stuff at the same time, or a lot of design elements, you click on the first one, go to the bottom one, hold the shift key, and you just press Ctrl C. So I feel this size is good enough. Now regarding the distance between each element, you see that the distance is even there. So now the distance are even. Next thing we have to do is just the text. Template copy, Ctrl C. We could expand this, enter. Alright, so the extra stuff we want to add, or the extra elements, will just be the text. So I'll just click on Robot Designs. It shows me the location because I have the auto select feature on. I'll Ctrl J to make a copy. I'll drag it to my to my front folder. Come to the top here to close it, turn it off. So I have a copy of the initial design I was using. So home address, we'll just use some text. Let's just use a fake address. Let's just say 00, I live in Lagos, Nigeria. Full stop, Control Enter. Next we want to add is our mail. Alt or Option or Map. Alt Shift, click and drag. I just put my mail here at Rocky Robot Designs. Okay. Rocky Robot Designs at gmail.com. Control Enter. Alt, hold the Shift key. Web address. Hopefully in the future, youtube.com/c/the magic maker. This is after my account must have reached 30 days. I'm able to create a custom name. Then Alt Shift, click and drag. Telephone number 080 2 0000 Just put your phone number there. Or to make it region specific, just a dummy text. Alright, and we've done that. So what other thing do we need to add? Okay, the magic maker logo, and I believe that's it. So magic maker view. Alt click and drag, then move it above the back, bring it in, turn the back off. So we have our text here. I think I like that position. I'll just change the color overlay to the deep color we have here. Cool. Okay, could we use something different? Black is also cool. We just leave it like this. Okay. Anything else? Probably a barcode. Do you want to put anything else? Let's make magic, maybe a big text or anything you want. Alt click and drag. Or we could just put one of my favorite code. Not one of my favorite code. My code actually. In time, come on. Time. Okay. Let's use italics. Okay. Let's try medium italic. Remember, it's just the concept, so you could check out professional styles. This is just for us to know how to move around with various design elements. So in time metal. Then we can have our barcode up here. So I believe we brought in two barcode, and we'll just use this. Alt click and drag. So it's up. turn off the back design. Move this to the very top. Make it smaller. Okay. Then all we can do is everything we have here, I'll just shift click on the last one, Ctrl G. I'll call it details. Ctrl C. Okay, the text is also part of it. I'll just hold shift. Click on the text itself. Leave it in there. I'll bring it out. Details. Ctrl C. No. Details. Ctrl C for transform tool. I believe this is the idea, or we could just shift it the other way around by just making another copy, Ctrl J, turning the initial one off. Then the details, Ctrl C, move it up and bring the barcode down considering the space. So click on the barcode, Ctrl C, bring it down. So details, Ctrl Enter, barcode, bring it down. So from what we have here, this is sort of like a basic flyer concept. You could go out there to source for creative ideas and creative styles that you can implement in your very own. So the next thing we want to do is we just want to quickly export these two images. Right click, quick export as PNG. I'll take it to this shoots eye, faking and making mockups, or more or less like business card. Okay, I'll just do it like this. I'll call this business card front. Ctrl A, Ctrl C, enter. Turn it off. Quick export as PNG. Ctrl V front 2. Right click, quick export as PNG. Ctrl V. Back. Let's say back 3. Alright. So this is just the basic idea. Let's save our file, very important. Okay, I want to know exactly where I saved it on your computer. Business card. Put the file here. Business card design. Okay. So next thing you want to do is you want to put it on a mockup, because if you show a client this that you've done, I don't really think it will look really that impressive unless they're seeing it like this. So I want to make it look realistic as possible. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be using two styles of designs. One is to fake it, the other one is to literally use a mockup. So let's preview this. This is what we'll be doing. I'll drag this Alt Tab, move it here to open it in Photoshop. Then I'll bring in both of my design using the distort feature in Photoshop to resize it or rescale it. Okay, it seems to be very small, so they are smart object anyway. Ctrl C for the both of them. Ctrl C. Let's just make it big. Let's see. Alright, still looks good. Thank God for smart object. Turn off the one at the bottom. So what I want to do is this. Ctrl C, resize it. Alright, click on distort. So what I like to do is, before I distort, this is what I like to do. I like to zoom into the points where I want the angle here to align to. So Ctrl C, right click, distort. Another thing would be to use the navigation menu. So Windows, navigator rather. So I'll move it to this other edge. So we see that they're pretty far apart. I'll zoom out. Okay, they're not actually far apart. It's just behind it, so I'll just look for it. We can zoom in if we feel there's something that we still need to see. Okay, I'll move here. Remember, we're using the distort feature Your regular transform controls will not give you this particular effect. Let's just use this. Click and drag. Press the space bar and just click and move so that you can move around. So you don't have to use the navigator. Alright, so from what we have here, I'll just do Ctrl O to zoom out so you get an idea, so that it looks like it's actually part of the image. So when you send it to somebody, it is looking more realistic. Let's just do for the second one. Where are you? Okay, I think we did for both together because we had them clicked. Let's see. Turn this off. Okay. Let's turn this off. Let's just import the back and do the same thing for it. Back. Alright. Scale it up. So we'll just be fast about this in no time. Distort. Move it in there. Move this here. Okay. Move this one here. And remove this here. Move this here. So for this, we don't have to stretch it that bad. Just make it like this. Okay. Alright. We zoom in. This is just like one card is out like this. Let's say you have a stack of business cards and you just have one directly out. So what you could do is you could just take a picture of this like this and you could just place another mockup on it. So that's just the literal idea. Ctrl C, right click, distort. Okay, Ctrl 0. Alright, this edge you still have to find it. Ctrl C, right click, distort. Ctrl Enter, Ctrl 0 to zoom out. But then there's sort of like a mix because we can't see the edge of this card. What we can do is we can apply a drop shadow. Let's see what drop shadow will do for us. So we apply a drop shadow on the one that is in front. F of X. Drop shadow. Let's do drop shadow black. But I'm not seeing the effect. Okay, let's see. Turn on. Okay, I see it, but it's very, very minute. What else can we do? Should we do a glow? Outer glow. Okay, I would want this color. Screen, I'd say overlay. About overlay. Okay, the glow is there. Let me see if I can just zoom in. You see we have the glow there. Outer glow. Let's say normal drop shadow. Still not seeing the effect. Overlay. How about multiply? Multiply, no. Darken. Let's leave it at overlay. Overlay, I could try soft lights. No. Just pressing the down arrow key. We'll just leave it at overlay. Overlay, alright. Opacity. Noise. Let's reduce the noise. Much better. Let's reduce the noise. Increase the opacity. Okay. Ctrl 0 to zoom out. So that just gives you an idea of what you can just do. We could turn it off, we could turn it on. Let's reduce the opacity of the glow. Okay. So what we just want to do is we want to make it obvious that you have two cards that are stacked on top of each other, sort of like this. So that's just what we want to do. Okay. So this is way one. You just do for quick export as PNG. I'll call this mockup A. So when you want to send the final preview to your client or to the person that will do it for you, or the person you were doing the design for, this is what you send because this looks more professional and they're just like, wow. But then when you just give them something that is looking 2D, 2-dimension, length and breadth, they just be like, okay, it's good. Yeah, it's good. But then mockups make things look better. Now aside that, let's use the second method. Aside faking, let's use a regular mockup. Let's see the preview that we have here. Okay, this A, rounded corner edges. images not included, that's fine. Close this. Let's check the third one. You could get these mockups from FreePic. So for those that have been watching the previous tutorials on this channel, you see that FreePic is one of our sources for getting design resources. So I'll just use the one with the rounded corner. I'll just double click to open it in Photoshop, just like that. So wait a while. Okay. Card front, double click on it. Let's bring our front card design. Front. Let's use this other one. Control minus to zoom out. Scale. You could just use Alt instead of dragging like that. Control S. Close it. And it reflects here. You see that this is even looking better. So we do for the other one. Let's apply the image back. Control Enter, Control S. And if you notice, for mockups, you see that here you're having a PSB file, and for the Photoshop file itself, you're having what you're having there is the PSB file. So that's just the difference. Just pay attention to that. So from what we see here, you see that this is even looking more real. Let's change the background color. Let's use something soft. Okay, let's just see. Okay. Alright, I think okay, this is good. Yeah. Okay. The PC is actually lagging a bit for a fast laptop. Alright, I'll just do enter for this. Okay, this is not bad. Okay, escape. Alright, so we are out of there. So this is just a very easy way of just creating your own mockups or applying your images as mockups. So when you export this as PNG, mockup B, exhibit A, exhibit B. So this is good. This is better. So this is how you make, business card design from scratch, ID card. You could also use the same concept for this. Even I think I have another ID card somewhere here. Where are you? Almost there, coming. Okay, so we have an ID card design here. Let me just show you a preview of the Photoshop file. So I have it somewhere in ALID. ID cards, Rocky. I'll just go into Rocky. Alright. So what we have here is the front, and we also have the back. So what we can do is we can view them side by side, just like this. And that is the idea, but then you can also place it on the mockup so that your presentation will look marvelous. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you've been able to learn something new in today's episode with the Magic Maker. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel and follow the socials on your screen. Above all, our sponsor, a very big thank you to you at Active Leaders Online. So interact with their content here online. You can see it in the featured channels, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.